stung the nostrils a bit.
Had one in 2 years.
Which is why he fit just perfectly in that non-winners of 2 races in a year condition.
Hello. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Meadowlands Post-Position Draw Show. I'm Justin Horwitz here in the Meadowlands Race Office, joined by Meadowlands Race Secretary Pete Koch and presiding judge John Tomasello. And Pete, after last week we had no stakes on the card, this coming Saturday night, chock full of eliminations and good quality horses. Give us an overview of the card when you open the box this morning.
Well, this is the fall Final Four, and it's for 2-year-olds, Colt Pacers, Filly Trotters, and Colt Trotters. And all the races actually ended up having between 11 and 13 entries. And with the rules of the stake, if that ends up being the number entered, then you just have one elimination, and the horses with the highest seasonal earnings, which would be their only year of earnings as 2-year-olds, are offered a bye. And sometimes trainers take the bye, and sometimes they don't. But we're going to draw the Governor's Cup, which is the 2-year-old Colt Pacers, and is going to go for north of 400,000, 411,700.
411,700 will be the final on November 25th. The elimination goes for 20,000. Breeders' Crown champion Stay Hungry will take the bye as the highest money earner. So explain the risk, I guess, you take then of taking a bye.
Well, these buys, they started, 10, 15 years ago, and it really was for the betting public so that they didn't have to bet on 5-horse elimination races, because nobody wants those. And so, although we'll only be eliminating one horse, the winner of this elimination race is guaranteed to draw no worse than the 6th post position in the final. So that's a pretty big thing, considering that, if you get the 10-hole going for 400,000, it's very difficult. So whoever wins this race, we'll draw 1 through 6. So people can bet on the races with, they want to ensure that they're going to get a good post. So there isn't any worry about betting the elimination. So, and also these races, this race is going to go for more money than any of the Sire Stakes finals in the country. And it's an open stake, and the Meadowlands is committed to maintaining these open stakes. And these stakes have a big impact on seasonal champions. And just like in Hollywood, where, the movies that are in December, they're the ones that probably get the most play as far as Oscars are concerned. These later races in the year have a huge impact on the divisional champions. So Tony Alagna's Colt Stay Hungry, being a winner in the Breeders' Crown, and if he was able to win this race, he would really have a big leg up into being the 2-year-old Colt Pacer of the year.
But he will face perhaps the horse that was the favorite going into the Breeders' Crown as 2-year-old Pacer of the year. That would be Lost in Time, who won his Breeders' Crown elimination and then came up flat at 3-5, and now is entered for a new trainer. Remember, Jim Mullenix had the horse in Ohio. Now he will be trained by some guy named Tactor for the first time. That was kind of interesting.
Absolutely. And then there's always horses that are coming, getting good at the end of the season. And Tony actually has a couple of ones that have raced here the last couple of weeks who have looked very good. American History. There we go.
the most talented colt since Captain Treacherous, according to Myron Bell for Brittany Farms.
Well, so far he hasn't finished back of winning. So he's won all 3 of his races, and he's really looked good. He kind of ran off on them last Saturday night, and so it's really kind of a compelling race. So we'll draw this Elim, and we'll see where we go.
Okay, just a heads up to those watching. A couple other names you might want to know and watch for. Springsteen, who just won the Matron last week at Dover Downs. That's another horse in here. Grand Teton, who was in the kindergarten final, finished 4th. Fashion on the Beach finished 2nd in the kindergarten final. Closing Statement was 3rd in the Breeders' Crown, 2nd in the Matron. So pretty good group there. And Dorsaduro Hanover for Ron Burke, also in the Breeders' Crown. He was 7th. So these are pretty much big names at the end of the year.
Absolutely. And as we've been saying, for a couple of weeks on the show here, that there is a lot of money involved at the end of the season here. So it's an important race, and we're happy to host it here.
Okay, so let's draw these entries here. So all horses will be uncoupled in the elimination. We will put all 10 pills in the bottle. No one will have any post position advantage. So it's a straight draw here for 10 post positions. This is the Governor's Cup elimination. Saturday night, 10 entered in the elimination. 9 will advance to the final, which will be the following week.
We'll start with 6.
Post 6 will go to Springsteen.
10.
Post 10. Lost in Time, the beaten favorite in the Breeders' Crown, who goes for Jimmy Takter on Saturday night. Post 1.
Dorsaduro Hanover.
Post 1 will go to the Ron Burke trained Dorsaduro Hanover, 7th in the Breeders' Crown final.
3.
Post 3.
Captain Deo.
Captain Deo, post 3, one of the Tony Alagna trained.
8.
Post 8.
Closing Statement.
Closing Statement will have post 8. This one will go for Joe Holloway, 3rd in the Breeders' Crown.
5. Fashion on the Beach.
Post 5 will go to Fashion on the Beach, who is winless in his career, but he was 2nd in the kindergarten final for Jim Campbell.
7.
Post 7 goes to
Grand Teton.
Grand Teton, the half-brother to Breeders' Crown champion Pure Country.
9. American History.
Post 9 will go to the undefeated American History, who will try Stakes Company for the first time in his brief but brilliant career.
2.
Post 2.
Rock Lights.
Post 2 goes to Rock Lights, who is a maiden but raced through the New York Sire Stakes this summer.
And 4.
And post 4
Nutcrackers.
will go to Nutcracker Sweet, another one of the Jimmy Takter train. This one's a half to Sweet Lou. He was 4th in the Matron. So those are the 10 in the Governor's Cup elimination. And just quickly looking at the numbers here, I think a big story would be that Lost in Time, who's looking to bounce back from that disappointing Breeders' Crown final, draws post 10, first start for Jimmy Takter. That's a pretty well documented story. Trainer Jim Mullenix going down to Florida for the winter, and he personally dropped off the horse at Jimmy Takter's place, and he will race him. So in looking at this field and looking at the rest of the stakes and on Saturday, I know we had the other eliminations and some TVG legs that we may see in advance of the big TVG finals, which will go next week. Do you remember some big names that you might have seen dropped into the box that the people watching may be excited to see race this Saturday?
The TVG Mare Pace will have 7 in there, and it's a great field.
I saw Pure Country, the Breeders' Crown winner, Darlin' on the Beach, Nike Franco,
Bedroom Confessions,
a fast closing 2nd in the Breeders' Crown. The other legs, what are we going to do with those?
They'll wait till next week. Some of them may qualify this week, but the finals, the rich finals, will be the week after. And then we're just waiting on Jimmy Takter to decide if he's going to take the bye with same old different day in the Valley Victory. Chuck Sylvester has taken a bye with Hey Blondie in the Goldsmith Maid. And then there's 3 fillies that get byes in the Philly Pace, the 3 Diamonds, 2 of Ron Burke's, and what was the other one? There was okay.
It's okay. There's a lot of horses you got to think of all at once. I just put you on the spot. That was not very nice of me to put you on the spot. This Saturday, so we have those eliminations and the overnights. How did those look?
Joe Holloway's filly is the other one.
Okay.
You are my candy girl, so.
I think that's Burke's horse.
And no, the daughter of Rainbow Blue.
Rainbow Room. Oh, see, there you go. You're My Candy Girl's Burke's Breeders' Crown champion.
Right, so she's getting the bye. 2 of Ronnie's and 1 of Joe's.
Okay, all right, that's perfect. Now, looking ahead to the 25th, That's when we'll have the finals of these fall Final Four, the TVG free-for-all finals. And did you know we'll have the TVG money-back specials on the 4 TVG finals? So that's added benefit for the bettors that night.
That's an unbelievable deal. I mean, you can maybe you aren't a win better or something, but you can become a win better there. And if your horse finishes second or third, you get the money back. So you can take a shot on a horse who might be a decent price. And if you feel like they have a good chance to win, but maybe they just get beat, and then you get your money back on your first $10.
Yeah, so those are the TVG money back specials. That's coming up in 2 Saturdays. Looking ahead to this Saturday, I thought was interesting. Last week, the Survivor Pick 10 got hit by one person, and I'm told it was a ticket purchased through twinspires.com and only cost $72, which I thought was pretty cool because they took down more than $13,000.
Well, whoever hit that was an excellent handicapper because they had the first 7 winners. There was a couple of free spaces, as they say in gambling lingo, but there were some horses that were difficult to have. But it's really kind of an exciting bet. I've really kind of enjoyed following it. It was kind of amazing that the first leg there was over $16,000 in the pool, and the horse paid $440 in the first race. And then after the first race, there was $4,400 left worth of people that were alive. So there could clearly be a night that you might be able to hit this thing in 3 races if long shots come in. So I think the pool's just going to keep getting better and better. And the one thing great about this bet is that on a lot of these other bets, you're waiting for that mandatory payout night. Well, every night's a mandatory payout night, so somebody's going to get the green at the end of the night.
I think it's interesting. The first week we did the bet 2 weeks ago, it handled like 11,600. Last week it went up to like 16,000, so that's a pretty good increase. I'd like to see it take a huge jump forward. I think the whole idea is to see 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,000, even more in a perfect world where there's the chance for that one person who handicaps like this person did last week to get that kind of gigantic score on a 20-cent base wager.
Well, I work for a general manager, and he said to me one time that people want to bet a toothpick and win a lumber yard now. So, anyway.
Is that an original, or does that come from someone else? Because I like that.
It wasn't my line. It was somebody I worked for in the past. But they're really, everybody coming to the track at night, their hope is to make a big score. Well, listen, I think this bet is going to ensure at least somebody is going to make the score. So stay tuned for future editions.
Okay, that sounds good. Let's take a look at the full field now for the Governor's Cup elimination that we just drew. Again, interesting to note, lost in time, the beaten favorite in the Breeders' Crown. First time Jimmy Takter this Saturday draws post 10, which will make things pretty interesting. The matron winner, Springsteen, draws post 6. Dorzadoro Hanover for Ron Burke draws the rail. And you can see there Captain Deo and American History, 2 Tony Alanya trained horses, will draw posts 3 and 9. And then, of course, remember, Stay Hungry, the Breeders' Crown champion, gets a bye into the final. So he will be waiting, but he goes into the open draw for the final. So that's the one risk he takes. And remember, the elimination winner will draw for posts 1 through 6 in the final. So that is a look at the Governor's Cup elimination, one of 4 Fall Final Four eliminations that we will see on the Saturday night card for the 2-year-olds, plus the usual diet of interesting and compelling overnights, which as soon as we're done here, you will go back to your dungeon and put together for us. How'd the box look today relative to past?
Well, each week it's getting better. So people are finding out that we're open. And, we do those little series, those Dash for the G-Notes series, so there'll be the final for that.
I can't believe I didn't mention that already.
Well, it's a fan favorite, so we want you to be on top of that.
I'll do better next time. So that goes for 17.5. Did we get a consolation also?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So Dash for the G-Notes, Fall Final Four limbs. That's like 6 races right there. So that's pretty much half your job. You just got to go find a couple more.
Yeah, we're going to be okay. We're going to have 13 wagering events for your betting pleasure, and there should be some interesting races. There's good colts and good fillies, and a little preview for the big night a week from Saturday.
All right. Well, we thank Pete Koch, the race secretary, John Tomasello, and you for watching us here on our Facebook Live post-position draw show. I'll see you Thursday for the J-Ho show right here on Facebook Live at 4 o'clock, and then you can catch us this weekend live racing Saturday night at the Meadowlands, 7:15 post time. We'll bring it all to you coming up. Stay with us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. See ya.